This video is sponsored by DistroKid, more on that later. Have you ever found yourself wondering how some musicians seem to get gigs booked really easily, gig after gig, and you're left pondering why? Or how? Well, you're in the right place, because today we're going to go on a journey to unlock the mysteries of booking more gigs, no matter what genre you're in and where you are in the world. On this video, we're going to have a look at some strategies and some insider tips that will help you skyrocket your chances of getting booked. Now, ironically, it's not me you're going to be talking to. You're going to be talking to Filippo Dall'Asta. Filippo is a working musician who has booked thousands, and I mean thousands of gigs for himself. And using his expertise, he's created a workshop called the 100 Gig Workshop, getting you booked for over 100 gigs. But don't take my word for it. Let's have a chat with Filippo and see how he does it. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Filippo Dall'Asta. Hi!
Hello, everybody.
So, Filippo, if you could just do me a favour and imagine you and me have just walked into a lift or an elevator, depending on where you are in the world, and you're going to give me your sort of 30-second pitch of who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm a professional guitarist and music business coach. I've been playing professionally since, well, about 15 years full time. I've gigged pretty much all over the place, especially UK, Germany, Italy. I've gigged in India quite a bit, France, Spain, Malta, Russia. I've been touring quite a bit. Yeah, I got to tour with my heroes. I am in the Gypsy Jazz, or also known as Jazz Manouche niche. By now, I've played over 1,700 gigs and still counting.
Wow. Wow.
And I released 10 albums. I'm the founder of GypsyJazzGuitarMaster.com.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. That's amazing. And that's some amazing statistics as well. So where did you first sort of start? Obviously, we're talking about guitar here, but where did you start your musical journey? Was it obviously very young, or did you jump into it like college? What did you do?
I started playing when I was 5 with a piano. I've always shown interest towards music. So my parents signed me up for some piano lessons back then when I was 5, which is fairly young. And then moved on to guitar when I was 13, because when you're 13, you want to do the opposite of what your parents tell you, pretty much. And so,
yeah, I get that.
And also piano, it was classical education. So it was a very structured way of practicing and lessons and reading scores and stuff. And I feel that I was more drawn to a different approach. That's why then I got into jazz, which is a different way of experiencing music. I was drawn to improvisation and all of that, and drawn to the guitar, and so that's where I come from musically. Then I've studied in Italy, I've studied in Germany, I studied in India, as I was mentioning, I studied in the UK, both music colleges and with private lessons.
Can I just ask as well, like, you studied in different locations? I mean, I studied in like one university, and that's about it. So how is it you got to sort of study in these wonderful different countries? Was it just a case of there's a course there and you wanted to do it? Did you move with family? What happened there?
Aside from music, I always had this passion for travel, permanent travel, not like a holiday, but rather somehow my life has always been, let's go visit a place, and then I ended up staying there, and then let's go and visit the next place, and then I ended up staying. And so because I'm always drawn to music, then inevitably I'll end up studying something or signing up for something or finding a teacher here or a teacher there. So obviously I started in Italy, again with classical education, actually, guitar-wise. Then moved on to jazz, and then I moved on to studying in Bologna, still Italy. There was a music academy for modern music in Germany. I studied tango guitar. Then I studied in India after that. Indian music studies, so tabla and sitar, actually. Then I studied in the UK at Tech Music Schools. It's now called BIM.
Yes, I know BIM very well.
And then privately, I keep taking lessons. I went and studied gypsy jazz with Lolo Meyer, with Moses Rosenberg. I went to the gypsy camp in the Netherlands a few times to learn from them. Then I ended up touring with them on a couple of occasions, which was very, very cool. And that's how it happened. I've moved here, moved there, and then music was always with me, and the desire to learn and improve.
That's brilliant. That's fantastic. So obviously you've got gypsy jazz, which I'm going to be dead honest. I didn't know was a genre, or I didn't really realize that until I met you and then started finding a little bit more out about this, which is cool. But you coined the phrase Gypsy Jazz Master, and just expand upon that, because then, of course, your website is all about Gypsy Jazz and obviously learning how to do this.
It started as a guitar Gypsy Jazz guitar membership site, and it still is. But now we're offering more programs also when it comes to the music business side of things. It actually opened to all sorts of musicians from any styles, right? So even singers, pop singers, function band musicians, like all sorts. But that is for the music business side of things, how to get gigs and stuff, which we're probably going to talk about later.
Yes, we are.
But it did start as a guitar membership site. Now the term Gypsy Jazz, I didn't coin it.
No. What I meant, you coined the phrase Gypsy Jazz Master. Yeah. For the website, which is really nice.
Yeah, just wanted to clarify. There might be someone in the audience who doesn't know this genre, and it was born in the 1930s by a guitarist called Django Reinhardt. Very famous guitarist, still famous because it was missing two fingers were injured in a fire, and it still became one of the best guitarists in the world, just playing with two fingers, which is three, because he would use the thumb as well, but it's pretty amazing. And so he is of gypsy origin, Sinti in fact, and he was born in Belgium. He moved to Paris, where he got in touch with the jazz scene, and then with a collaboration with Stéphane Grappelli, the violinist, this term Gypsy Jazz was born. And so that's the music that I got passionate about and started teaching. So Gypsy Jazz Guitar Master was born as a website to teach people how to play that.
So obviously with your extensive education, as it were, obviously in literally taking the education from different cultures and stuff, and you obviously went into Gypsy Jazz. You could have just obviously for the rest of your life played Gypsy Jazz, be very happy, and that's it. But you decided you wanted to go into the teaching realm of teaching. Did you have people coming to you go, how do I do this? And then you just fell into that? Or was it a case of you always wanted to go into the teaching and the education side of Gypsy Jazz?
Yeah, I was in high school. I mean, looking back, I wasn't playing that well, but back then I was probably playing better than some of my some other students who were also playing guitar. Yeah. Already then, there were people asking me for lessons. I actually started teaching when I was 16.
Right, okay.
So, sort of informally, but there was my first student. I was 16. He would come every week to my place, and I would show him stuff. And I've always done it, right? I've always had, I suppose, a teaching spirit. So when it comes to playing guitar, people have always asked me, can you teach me? And I taught all sorts of styles of guitar throughout the years. Now, the past 10 years, I've been focusing on this. I always taught, even now with the music business side of things, again, came from people asking me, how do I do this? How do I that? How do you get so many gigs? How are you so busy? And again, it sort of naturally progressed and evolved into teaching it.
I think it's probably the biggest compliment ever if you've got someone asking you to teach you guitar, or even now, as you say, basically asking you, how do you get so many gigs? Well, that's a massive compliment to your expertise, which I think is great. How do you balance sort of the teaching side with still playing as a musician?
Well, it is hectic. It is a lot of work.
I bet it is.
And I got a wife and 2 kids as well. So it is a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I'm very organized. My grandfather was born in Switzerland. Maybe that's why. I'm not sure. I've got a love for schedules, spreadsheets, and being organized to the degree that when I feel that I wasn't having enough spontaneous time in my life and I couldn't create it, a friend suggested, why don't you plan a spontaneous time in your calendar? And so I did. That's how I manage it.
Brilliant. That's fantastic.
But basically, I work hard, and I'm organized, and I'm consistent. All that I do can be done and achieved by anybody.
Yeah.
It's about consistency and being organized. Now I wake up in the morning before the family, usually 5 o'clock, either practice or anyway start working.
Yeah.
So it is a long day.
Yeah. Now, before we get on with the rest of the interview, I hope you're getting some great value out of this. If you are, give that like button a smash, and on the way down, you might see a little subscribe button as well. But I also wanted to let you know about today's sponsor, which is DistroKid. If you're planning to release music in the next year, chances are you need a music distributor. You can't just rock up to Spotify or Apple Music or any of the big players and say, play my music. You need a music distributor to give your music to them and they push it out to all the different places. The problem is a lot of music distributors will charge you every time you want to release music. DistroKid is a music distributor, but they don't charge you per release, they charge you for one price. And that one price is cheaper than you think. And we can make it even cheaper for you. How much is a cup of coffee in where you live? How much is 5 cups of coffee? Because the price of DistroKid for an entire year is cheaper than 5 premium cups of coffee from a coffee shop. The price starts at $22.99, and with the link that's on the screen, it's also in the description box below, you can actually get 7% off your first annual membership from me. Clicking that link helps me and it helps the channel, but it actually helps you. In fact, it saves you money by 7% off. DistroKid now have an app. It's available on both iOS and Android. You can upload your music directly from your mobile device, which is exactly what I did with my last single, which was called Stray. Stray was actually made on iPad from beginning to end, and I uploaded it with the app. The app, as I said, is also available on Android for Android users as well, and you can manage your account there, and you can even get things like promo cards, so you can do all your Instagram promotion right in the comfort of your own phone. So thank you very much to DistroKid for sponsoring this video. Click the link and start distributing your music today. Now, back to the interview. So the reason why we're talking as well is because I actually saw your Facebook post about the 100 gig workshop, and I was really intrigued for myself more than anything else. So I joined and obviously joined up. I'm kind of guessing people asked you, as you said before, how are you getting so many gigs? So you've kind of identified maybe, a market or a niche to actually teach people this.
Yeah, so I've used that to also create this guitar community to teach guitar. Inside that community, I noticed an interest, for people to either go professional or getting more out of their career.
Yeah.
I've started offering some one-on-ones for people who needed it, but for the business side of things, for the music business side of things.
Right.
And I started noticing a lot of interest. And so I taught that on one-on-ones for about 3 years.
Right.
Till the point where I saw actually there is a very specific structure to the whole thing. And I basically then put it into a structure and turned it into a program.
Right. Got you. Okay. So obviously from having the Gypsy Jazz Master website with the community inside, you found it through there. Is that right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So that was obviously how it came about. But my question to you is, and I've been through this sort of 3-day course, and it's fabulous, and it's got a lot of golden nuggets in, and I'm really grateful that I've gone through it with you. But why is it free? Because your Gypsy Jazz Master stuff, obviously, it's a paid community. It's got courses on and everything else. You're kind of giving this out, like you're giving this absolute brilliant knowledge out for free. Why are you giving away all your secrets?
It's the most ethical system that I find, is the system that I enjoy the most.
Okay.
It is sort of my way to giving back to the community. I got a lot of help when it comes to where I am.
Yeah.
Even I got help for free.
Yeah.
And so I want to market myself in a way that I enjoy, in a way that I find sustainable, and in a way that I find ethical. I find that if I started marketing my program and my services and my coaching from, hey, this is me, sign up, give me money, putting myself in the shoes of my potential audience, I wouldn't find that particularly entertaining or particularly nice.
Okay.
Especially in a world where it's all spam advertising and so I wanted to provide value first for free. I suppose also I'm very busy and lucky to have a lot of work, so I don't have the immediate need for people to sign up to any of my things.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be in a position where I can give. It's ethical. It is sustainable.
Yeah.
And it feels good for me. I give a lot of value into the world, and it works because then some people will end up resonating with me or liking what I do, and then will inevitably want to keep working with me. But if not, for me it feels great because there's no actual agenda behind it. And I do say at the beginning of my workshops, I always ask, have you been to a workshop where the entire agenda of the host was to just give you a long pitch and then sign you up for stuff? And I always make it clear that those workshops that I run are not like that. There will be an offer in the end to join the program if people qualify. But the idea of the workshop is to actually give a lot of actionable advice and a lot of value up front. So it's a system that I find, sorry if it was a bit of a long answer.
No, it's fine.
It's a system that I enjoy and it feels really good because I give before asking. I put a lot of value there. And this is me being 100% transparent with what's going on. So I try to create a win-win for everyone.
No, that's great. And no, don't worry about the length of the answer, because one of the things that I found really unique about obviously going onto the course was pretty much straight away, once everyone had kind of come in, and on day one, you were exactly saying this. You were saying, have you ever been on one of these courses and they're all pitching you and everything else? It's like, that's not the case here. And you know what? Over the 3 days, there was absolute gold nuggets to take away from anyway. The other thing, just to sidetrack a little bit, I've never heard before was, if you want to work with me, if you qualify.
Again, because I am in a position where I don't necessarily have to sign up people just for the sake of signing people up. When you think about it, in the long run, because I want to do this for a long time, if I only work with people that I know I can deliver the results to, then of course it's going to be so much better. Of course, for the people I work with, but also for my business.
Of course. Yeah, no, makes sense.
Because then we'll only have success stories.
Yeah. So the 100 gig workshop obviously is very popular, and it's increasing, I believe, because, as I say, you've certainly got my attention. So where do you see that going in the future? Obviously, moving into things like, right now we're filming in December of 23, we're going into 24. Where do you see this going? Because pandemic is over. You know, we all want to get back into gigging again. So do you see an increase in this? Do you see maybe a version 2 of this that you're doing?
Yes, the good thing about this is that it is pandemic proof. Of course, not the live playing side of things, because to play live, of course you cannot do that when there are some certain restrictions in place, like it happened in 2020, 2021.
Yeah.
Some of 2022, of course. The good thing about the workshop is that, of course, we keep updating it. When there is a new technology in place, or a new way to promote things, a new platform, a new social media, whatever it is, new strategies and so on, we keep that up to date. That goes without saying. The great thing about it, in my opinion, is that because it's divided into 3 days, and it's 3 days because each day is part of the strategy. It's a 3-part strategy, and we talk about one part of the strategy per day. So it's the 3 days for that. So day one is it's basically a checklist and the best practices, and how to having the best promotional material for yourself.
Yeah.
In terms of how and why and what. So videos, your photos, how your website should look like, what it should have in it, how your biography should be, so much more. It's basically your promotional material. So even that, when you think about it, that applies to any artist.
Yeah.
How to have your promotional material in place, and what you need, and how it has to look, and it's the principles and the rules that it has to follow. So whether you are in a pandemic situation or not, your promotional material can be applied to whatever other venture you start as an artist. The same for day 2, which is how to grow your audience and how to create a community that will resonate with you, that will buy your music, buy what you put out as an artist, watch your videos, click on your stuff. It's the idea of creating these super fans, the true fans, or the super fans.
Yeah.
So basically, how to create that in a community environment and have your own community. So apply that to anything. If you're a coach, if you're a teacher, if you're a painter, if you're a visual artist, adds value to your business, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Then the third part, the workshop, is indeed how to get gigs, how to basically fill your diary with gigs that you really want as well, as opposed to any gigs. Because, as musicians, we start and then we grind, and then we do find a certain level of success. And then usually what happens is we realize, actually, I'm playing a lot of gigs, but half of these gigs, I don't really want to do them.
Yeah.
We get to that stage. So it's even to address that side of things, where how do you fill the calendar with gigs, but the gigs that you want, that develop you as an artist, that you find realization in as an artist and as a musician.
It's funny because, like, I was only speaking to someone the other day about doing a gig, because we're talking about doing good covers gigs. I'm talking about battling in the corner because it's not really a gig you wanted to do, but it's a gig that you got booked for. But it was one of those things where actually they're not enjoying the process, because they're going, I'm a musician, because they're playing a covers gig that they don't really want to play in that venue. So being able to hear about getting gigs that you want, and getting good gigs, and getting fully booked and things like that, it's incredibly inspiring.
And I think there's no excuse nowadays. It is more work, perhaps. And again, in our programs, we teach how to delegate a lot of it actually
Yeah.
as well. But anyways, it is a lot of work. If you're willing to do the work, there's no excuse why artists shouldn't be doing very well.
Yeah.
We really want to dismantle that myth of the starving artist.
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, it turns out it can be a career that can be more satisfying and way more profitable than many more careers that have been marked as safe and secure. And my parents did that mistake. That's also what made me commit to do my thing no matter what, because I saw them going for that secure job, both of them, for the sake of having something secure, and I saw them lose that job, both of them.
Right.
And so I'm like, if that can happen with a safe and secure job, why wouldn't I go after what I really want to do? And I basically decided for myself to also be as a model for my kids, and to be a model for them to go after my dreams, and that this is what I want to do. I believe there's almost no excuse really nowadays to really make it. I think my favorite part of the 100 Gigs workshop, it is a checklist, it is a to-do list if you want.
Yeah.
And tips and tricks, but also the thing that I'm most passionate about, and the thing that is most beautiful to see in the people who attend, is that belief shift, to show them actually it is really possible. It is I can really do it and make it as an artist. That's the beautiful thing and the value that I love providing with these workshops.
This is brilliant, because the thing is, as you say, changing the mind shift. There's still, this year, there's still people who, as you say, either secure job, or if they do try and do the music thing, they kind of go, well, I want to be signed and I want to play, world tours and things like that. And there's like, I can't reach that. And then they instantly feel that they can't do it. The whole point of, in inverted commas, making it is, for me personally, it's making it going, I can support my family through music. So that's really, really inspiring, Filippo. Thank you very much for saying that. That's really, really nice. So we're going to have a special link that's under in the description box, and it's going to basically take you to the 100 Gig workshop. So obviously, please do sign up to that. I have been through it. I think it is gold, and your eyes will be opened. It's amazingly easy to understand. You go, there's a couple of, oh, why didn't I think of that moments? And also there's a couple of moments where you go, I've never thought of that. And I've been gigging for 20, 30 years. So it's been one of those things where definitely worth taking the time to go through this workshop. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Are you going to sign up to Filippo's 100 Gig workshop? It's completely free, and there's lots of great content in there to take away. I just want to say a quick thank you to him for taking some time out of his busy schedule. He was also in the process of moving house, so I hope that move has gone well. And check the link out for his 100 Gig workshop to see when he's next doing it, and hopefully you're going to be gigging a lot more in the next coming months. Now, from gigging over to recording, if you want to get some really good vocals in any room, including just a normal room like this, without having to book a fancy studio, then have a look at this video right now to get you some good audio no matter where you are.